A very, very warm good evening. This is Arnav Chaudhary. You are on my YouTube channel, arunfoot. It's Friday, February the 14th, 2025. It's Valentine's Day. On the other side, it's another day of action in Indian club football, in which just a while ago, Odisha FC scored a vital 3-1 comeback win against Hyderabad FC to put and keep the pressure on the teams above them in the Indian Super League. So that's an interesting one to see. And therefore, let's talk about it. Let's talk about other things also in Indian football today. And as always, as I like to say, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, arunfoot. Let's keep on growing the community as always. And as I speak to you right now here on the live, we're at 2,221 subscribers. So thank you to each and everyone. That's the right way to say it, for supporting me and the channel, and keep on growing it. And yeah, keep on coming back for the lives. Let's keep on talking about things that are interesting in Indian football, as the ISL is slowly heading to its climax, where we are getting to an interesting phase in the league, I think, where we are going to see who is going to make it or who's not going to make it to the ISL playoffs, because it is something that I feel, it was a crucial one. Hyderabad FC took a first half leap and looked very good in the first half. Looked like, you know what, this is amongst the best, at least that I have seen, of Hyderabad FC this season. And I thought, looks really, really good. Let's see how long they can keep it together. They couldn't. And then in the second half, two quick goals. Murtada fall with a classic header of Hugo Bumus corner. Then Hugo Bumus with the lead, and I'm especially happy for Rahim Ali, because Rahim Ali scored a really big gem of a goal. To me, I think that was very, very important, that he scored, and he showed what kind of a capability Rahim Ali has, and therefore that was important. And I think, deserving win for Odisha. And before I come to your comments, guys, let's quickly go through the league table as it stands at the moment. Momagan Supergiant, 46 points from 20 matches. FC Goa, 39 points from 20 matches. Jamshedpur FC, 34 points from 20 matches. So Jamshedpur FC suddenly also back in the mix, with 2 losses in a row. Northeast United on 32 points from 21 matches. Bangalore and Mumbai City on 31 points from 20 matches each. Odisha now have played 21 matches, 29 points. So they are just 2 points off Bangalore FC and Mumbai City. Blasters and Punjab FC on 20 points from 19 matches. So they theoretically are also in the mix of things, while the rest, I think, don't need to be counted in, even though theoretically Chennai FC are still in the race with 21 points from 20 matches. And out of it, East Bengal on 18, Hyderabad now have 16 or stay on 16, and Mohammedan have 11. So that's the situation in the table. And let's get going talking about things. Hi, Blue. Welcome back. East Bengal supporters today protested at the time of their practice. Interesting. There is a lot of discontent at East Bengal. And it looks like that the initial protest at the moment, or the wave of protests at East Bengal, seem to be against Omoy Ghoshal. Omoy has been now singled out as the person, as the problem. I think, there are others as well who could be put into the mix. But again, East Bengal fans need to protest against the whole system of the club, right? If the club wants to be successful, they need to look at other models that exist at other ISL teams and try to replicate that, or otherwise they will not succeed. And therefore, with all this talk, Imami staying, going, I don't know what will happen. It is disturbing to say the least, disappointing to say the least, of what is happening at East Bengal FC, and one would hope that things will change at some stage and things will get better. But but it is the way it is. This is Indian football in 2025, and East Bengal Football Club as the entity has to learn, that's something which makes no sense. Good evening, Giron Rare. Welcome back. Blue says both teams' defense was shaky today. Finally, Rahim scored. Yeah, shaky. I thought in the first half, Odisha were leaky despite having two foreigners in the back line. And I think Hyderabad should have scored a second. And then I would like to see if that comeback happens as it did in the second half. But on the other side, I would say, I've said this a few times over the last 2 years. I like Rahim Ali. I've seen him, over the years. The boy works really, really hard. And sometimes his finishing is not the best. But today's finish was world class. That was a really, really good goal. And the weird part is that he is from that rather more defensive position. When he's allowed to run forward, he can also use his speed. So therefore, for me, important for him personally. But I also think it's important that generally that he was able to score that goal. That goal was class, in my opinion. I love the way he scored it, and I hope and I wish that he does better, because we need players like Rahim Ali in the Indian national team, because we don't have too many options. So therefore, Rahim Ali is in the mix, in my opinion, when you talk about strikers in any position. But again, he's also an option in other positions, in other situations as well. So good to see him play this way. Mr. Fall is such a fantastic player in ISL over the years. He is retaining quality. Given Rare, yes and no, because if you take Blue's comment before that, Murtada Fall has had a little bit of shakiness in defense. But when a corner comes in and you give him space like they gave him today, I mean, there was no player even close to him. I don't want to be in Arshdeep Singh's position of trying to block somehow the other Murtada Fall, right? So therefore, from that perspective, it's him and again, interesting second highest goal scorer with Jerry at Odisha FC. So therefore, from that perspective, Murtada Fall is an exceptional player in the history of this league, be it at FC Goa, be it at Mumbai City, or be it now at Odisha FC. Murtada Fall has his place in the history of the Indian Super League, and he's one of those players, that have shaped the ISL over the years, and for that, and he's still doing it, but age is catching up with him, and defensively he does commit certain number of mistakes. Do you agree that others are projecting Omoy as scapegoat for his Mohun Bagan connection? Blue, I still don't understand in these protests. And again, it is sometimes not logical from my perspective. I don't know, I might be wrong. My question is, if Omoy Ghoshal has direct or indirect links to Mohun Bagan, but he's an employee of East Bengal club, where does that Mohun Bagan loyalty come? Then I question the fans of understanding someone working in a sport and the loyalties, whoever you support in life, but your loyalties lie with your employers. You will hear that again and again with players or with coaches or with officials, managers, whatever. I support club X. I'm not working for that club. I'm working for YZ, whatever. So therefore, for me, out of own experience, that loyalty doesn't come about. I now say for myself, for example, family roots wise, pre-ISL days, I supported East Bengal. Pre-ISL days. But since the ISL came about, I was involved in setting up Mumbai City Football Club. Mumbai City Football Club to me is like my own baby. It's like my own child. My loyalties lie more with Mumbai City. To some extent, that also applies to Punjab FC because I was involved, not I set up, I was involved in setting up. Even Mumbai City, I didn't set up, I set it up with other people. Sounds wrong. I set up Brown Glass Punjab. So there is a certain level of loyalty with that club as well. I still have a soft corner for East Bengal. But these other two entities are closer to my heart because I've been involved in them. And this is something that people need to understand. Omoy might be a fan of XYZ club, but he's working for East Bengal at the moment. So his loyalty lies with East Bengal. And I do not question those loyalties. There are other things which might be questioned, but I do not question his loyalties. Right? Simple thing. So therefore, from that perspective, yeah, that's what I would say. And the Mohun Bagan connection to me has now been made something more important than it is because at East Bengal FC, nobody wants to touch, the elephant in the room. And that is the discussion at some stage has to be about Nituda. If Nituda likes it or not, Nituda has been around. Nituda is saying this, that, and everything. And I've told him a few times in the past. But it's not changing, right? And look at Mohammedan Sporting is in a similar situation. And Mohun Bagan, look at Mohun Bagan EC with elections around the corner, what is happening in and around the club, it is as bad as the other two. The ISL is good. Why? Because Mr. Goenka is around. If Mr. Goenka leaves tomorrow, Mohun Bagan is in the same boat as the other two clubs. So every Mohun Bagan fan should be praying that Mr. Goenka does not lose interest in Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Because if he does and says, thank you very much, Tata, bye-bye, same club. And that's, sorry, you know me by now, yeah, that's what I think. And yeah, it's very difficult because when you work, of course, emotion and very good point. Sorry, I'll take this first. True. I guess people don't understand the difference between professional and personal things. And yes, very, very true, Blue. Because if he's done right or wrong, be it Omoy, be it other people as well. And people say, oh, they've got personal interest, this, that, everything. I take all of that. If they are successful, that helps their professional career. Just take it from that perspective. Whatever else they're doing. Club officials, I take that out. They don't care. They live in their own world. But people like Omoy are trying to work to be successful. Because if he's successful, it helps him next season. So these things, I think, should be kept in mind. But again, people don't, let's see. Let's see what happens. Sorry. Hi, Ayonit. Welcome back. Sir, will only weekend matches relegation happen from next season, as was mentioned in AFC Roadmap? Mukul, there are two things. As one of the co-authors of the FIFA AFC Roadmap, weekend matches, I don't know where this comes from. There's no weekend matches mentioned. Promotion has been implemented now over the last 2 years. That's done. relegation supposedly was coming. Relegation so far has not happened. It is something that ISL, or rather FSDL, as the organizers of the ISL, have to talk. COVID has played a role because certain parts of the roadmap were pushed back by 2-3 years. So again, there's no conversation happening on the matter. I think that's one of the problems. So I don't see relegation happening next season. At the moment, there is no talk about it. And again, my first question is, you're talking about the roadmap. My question is, does the ISL exist next season? I ask a totally different question with the whole, So that's the reality. I didn't watch from next year, going to follow Premier League or La Liga. On it, you know what? I'm biased on this. If you want to watch a good league, watch the Bundesliga. Jio Hotstar launch as the OTT platform. Jio Cinema disbanded. Yeah, it was coming. Just a question to you guys. Has Sports 18 disappeared as a channel or as a brand today? Because I saw the post from the ISL stating that from now on, Star Sports 3 is showing matches. So just out of curiosity, has Sports 18 as a brand disappeared from the television sets? I badly want fans club in India. Then see response. But if we have fan clubs in India, Sir Mohun Khan has got some good goalkeepers in the backyard throughout the dance. Syed Zaid Bukhari on loan to Real Kashmir Sun return. They faded on in terms of clean sheet and I-League. They've got 18-year-old Priyansh Dubey and RFDL, and U17 Nanda Roy has been overshadowing Semilal Haukip. Good, great. Young talent is good. Yeah, so therefore, let's hope that some of these boys get an opportunity at the top level at some stage. Mohun Bagan is king of ISL. If they go in AFC Champions League 2, even they can't even go through group stage. On it being top in India and being trying to compete at that level, we are nowhere near. In the old AFC Cup, we had some opportunities, but with the new, just think, Al Nassr could be playing. Al Nassr, Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr, John Duran's Al Nassr could be playing ACL 2 next season. So therefore, even if Mr. Lorenka says, I'm going to be spending this money, I'm going to be spending that money, that is nowhere near the comparison of what the others are spending. And that's the problem that they have, right? So therefore, these are realities. And to me, that's a challenge. So, yeah. The problem with EV, they're thinking they can match the skills of current Mohun Bagan team with this and that. They can't simply understand ATK and Mohun merger takes a lot at that time. So East Bengal need to work hard. That's one thing here on Red. I think the one thing that East Bengal needs to understand, I can't come, build a team in the summer, and say I'm going to try and challenge for the title. East Bengal need to learn from other teams in the ISL that you need 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years to build a top team. Look at Northeast United, for example, right? Aladin Ajare, 20 goals. What an exceptional striker. But they're still nowhere near to be a title contender. So therefore, these are things, yeah. So for me, East Bengal needs to learn that. East Bengal has overpaid. That is the other thing for players that are not worth. They've not built on their squad. They've built on a top first 11. And the reality of the last few years is not your first 11 is going to get you through. You're going to need 15, 16, maybe even 20 players of a similar level to be able to compete for bigger things. And that they've not been able to do. Predict team to promote next year. On it, I've said from the start, friends of mine own and run Inter Kashi. If you look at what they've set up, what they've created, I think Inter Kashi to me are my favorites, even though they're only third in the table at the moment. But I think Inter Kashi were and are my favorites to win the I-League title. In terms of current football scenarios, no club of India can do well in AFC, not even Kerala Blasters, Mumbai City FC or FC Goa. Yeah, Shivan, very, very right. But the problem, Shivan, is that we remember in the summer, Mr. Goenka said, I'm building an AFC ACL2 challenging squad. Then you have to bring in 11 foreigners and then, and build something. Not happening. It's an unrealistic thing that he's doing, and it's not working. It hasn't worked. It's not working, and therefore, these looking at dreams, not working for him. Hi Kumar, welcome back. Good to see you back. Hey Ochut, with current batch, I think both Maldives and Bangladesh matches will be very difficult for us. Agree on the one side. I think the Maldives match is a good one to settle in. And I think for India, it's very, very important to settle in that Maldives match. I hope, and again, I know that people will say, Manolo, try out players. I think Manolo will try and field his first team and then try and build on that and try to create something. I think that's the challenge that Manolo has for that game. And it will be very, very interesting to see what he can do or not do. It's a very, very challenging situation. Maybe Sports 18 is no more. Shivam, they're going to disappear. The question is when. So that was my question. Is Sports 18 still part of the bouquet, or have they disappeared? Because Sports 18 is going to be merged into Star Sports. Honestly saying, I've watched Indian football or whole as football, got to gain knowledge, but after seeing Europe matches, I can't resist myself to go click homepage button. On it, yes, understand that because the quality of European football is better. But I always say to people, keep on supporting Indian football. I know it's sometimes hard. I've said that myself. I mean, I watched 4 games and, last Sunday's derby here in Remscheid in the 6th division between FC Remscheid and SS4 Bergsporn was more entertaining and interesting, despite terrible ground conditions due to the bad weather, than all the 3 ISL matches in an I-League game. So that's a reality. Which club is a fan club? A fan club. Are you saying that a fans club? So the fans have an own football club, or you mean a supporting fan club? Why not just tell me? Blue says Sports 18 is still there, but as per reports will go away and Star will be only brand. Yes, Blue, that's the thing. Therefore, okay, it's still there, but from what I know, it's having been to Star. So therefore, let's see what happens. Hi, Average Footy. Good to see you back. I'm Mumbai City FC fan. For me, season has been finished now. I want Sujay to build team. Some guys like Vipin Toral needs to leave the club. Sujay has done lots of mistakes. Average Footy, yeah. I mean, I said that. I don't know if you've seen it. I created a video yesterday saying that Mumbai City squad need a complete overhaul. I think that's as harsh as I can say that, but it is needed for Mumbai City because on paper, the team look good, but especially the young Indians who Sujay has brought as replacements, none of them have actually stepped up. I think that's the biggest problem. And on the other side, I like the way Toral plays, but I also say in my video very, very clearly that to me, if you bring in a Toral, you need someone as a cover. It's like what Messi had in the World Cup with Rodrigo de Paul, right? Then Toral can openly play and create his magic. And we've seen 2 or 3 goals that he's set up were world class. But again, it's the team composition is not good. And therefore, Sujay has a lot of work in the summer to do. And now the biggest OTT domination started by Jio Hotstar as a big. Is it going to be domination or not? Again, they They let them. Let's see. I mean, you've got these monopolies or diapolies in a lot of countries and a lot of markets in regard to OTT. Ajay used to struggle in his home league, but in ISL skilling that shows our level. I mean, yes, it can be, but even other strikers who've come in have struggled in other leagues, have come in, but haven't been able to fire. So therefore, it isn't about, it works for him. And again, yeah, good striker, very good striker. Very interested to see if he actually stays in India and stays with Northeast, or maybe moves to another team, or maybe moves on to a bigger league. Because Aladin Ajare's goal track record is being followed in other parts of Asia. East Bengal looking for short-term success, which I don't think they can achieve in upcoming 5 years of ISL. Simply being a good squad and a good management who can back the players instead of press panic. Rare, I think before we talk about players, we need to talk about management. And that's something that East Bengal does. Again, I've said this and I will keep on saying this. Old-fashioned Kolkata style club officials running the way they used to run. They used to run it while there were very few teams. A lot of people forget that in the 2000s, the Goan clubs actually took over. Mahindra came in. Dempo became the most successful team under Armando, right? Churchill has won the I-League. So therefore, this is something which one needs to remember, which a lot of people are forgetting. And therefore, this is not a new phenomenon, but because they went into the second tier sort of with the ISL coming in, nobody bothered. And then, when they came in, Mohun Bagan, again, I repeat again, very, very good move to join hands with Mr. Goenka, because that has given them the opportunity to push at a level which normally they wouldn't have been able to. So therefore, let's wait and see. They've done the right thing, and let's see how far they can go. Jio Hotstar merges the debt for Indian football, plus AIFF is nowhere near favorite to renew contract with FSTL. Indian football at this rate will not progress for more 100 years. I don't know if Jio Hotstar is a death for Indian football. I honestly don't know how you come to that. To me, because we were on it, we're on that platform, the ISL. It's going to stay on Star for the season. So I don't know where you're coming, Average Foodie, with the thing that it's the death of Indian football. Still haven't understood that. Do you think Goenka will get more foreigners for next year ACL2? Blues, the question is, what does he want? If he wins again, maybe the focus shifts from ISL to ACL2, yes. But again, Mr. Goenka would have to spend more on foreigners to get in than what the Saudis are spending. And sorry, with all respect, Sanjeev, you do not have the budgets to compete with the Saudis. So nothing happened. Another one thing I don't think you will deny, it is Mohun Bagan, Mumbai City FC and FC Goa have promoted a few but some good polished players through their ranks, whereas East Bengal has bought a lot but not sustainable. I don't know how many players honestly, Mohun Bagan coming into that mix of a conversation of promoting players, I don't know. Mumbai City, yeah, not that much, but okay, TK. FC Goa for sure. BFC has to be discussed. Kerala Blasters has to be discussed. East Bengal have tried. Again, this route via Binu George hasn't worked, in my opinion. So therefore, for me, that's the thing, right? Hi, XYZ. What do you have to say about new French talent Desiree Doué? For PSG, plays for PSG. Bayern wanted to sign him last summer, didn't get him because PSG made a higher offer for him. The French produce talent. I don't know, left, right, front, back, center. It is insane, and therefore he's another one. Let's see how far he gets. Let's see. Fans club like they owned like Europe. They got this tradition. On it, yes, there is a tradition, so to say, okay, there are clubs, especially here in Germany, which are fans owned. On paper, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, Mohammedan also owned by the fans, right? At least the clubs are, but again, the club's officials have made themselves sort of a little independent of how they run. The same can be said about, let's say, Abasa, but it honestly it doesn't work in Europe that way anymore. Professional football has moved on, and it will not. It will even worse of a model for India. With the monies needed, you need corporate guys to invest. Onavada, any podcast or Nopang League, Kumar, you know, as long as I don't see it with my own eyes, it's always nice. You see some videos, this, that, everything. I have to see it with my own eyes, and then I can ask to ask the questions, right? I know that a lot of you guys follow it, love it. You're one. Other people have spoken about it as well. I've seen some of the videos. It looks really, really good. But what's the end product, right? That has to be asked, right? Reliance Foundation has to be asked that question in regard to the money that they're spending. What's the outcome? What's going to be the outcome in the next 5 to 7 years? Paris Derby will be crazy. Paris FC club is literally just centimeter beside Stade de France of PSG. That will be home game for both team matches. Will be worth to watch. Yeah, XYZ. And of course, it is Qatar versus Red Bull. Paris FC, of course, has a certain percentage ownership of the Red Bull group. Average Foodie, the merger of Jio and Hotstar is such a great step. With low cost, you can enjoy various sports and content of HBO, Paramount, and all. It's all about the broadcast quality now. Yeah, but the broadcast quality, is the broadcast quality even an issue in Indian football? I have high hopes from Mohun Bagan, Subajan AC2 next season, because this year there was a lot of change in the squad and the resonance between the manager team was lacking. Which level? Okay. I have hope for next season because they would not that much change in the squad. Secondly, Molina will now able to resonate his tactics with the team much more efficiently. By the way, I hope. Okay, is Molina staying? Are you saying that, Shivam? I don't know if he is staying, right? So if you know more, let me know. Right, already more than 30 minutes. Wow, I didn't even realize went off so quickly today. If you haven't, do leave a like behind and share it with other people so we can continue to grow communities. 8 likes so far on this video. Thank you very, very much. And if you want to come back for regular updates, stories on Indian football or even more, do watch this channel, this space, become a subscriber. As I said earlier, 2,221 subscriptions so far. Thank you very much. So slowly continue. We're growing. And do watch the videos that I make on a regular basis. Today, actually, it was quite funny that last night someone was speaking to me and she was telling me, oh, you know what, Ed Sheeran in India, she's a big Ed Sheeran fan. Oh, she went to this football thing in India and was playing with kids. And then, of course, he went to Shillong, to Northeast United. John Abraham invited him and he did that. So it's quite interesting what, outside of football, sports stars can do. Did a story on that yesterday. Did something on Mumbai City FC before that, Meghalaya hosting India's matches, top 6 race, why Indian football is so inconsistent, East Bengal, blah, blah, so many topics in that. Also, Pakistan band could be next. So do follow those. And as always, thank you very much. Unlimited foreigner and AFC matches are true. Yes, it is. Depends on the competition. ACL, it is. Yes, in ACL 2, there are 9, and AFC Challenge League, you can have 6 foreigners. Average Foodie, answer to Gear on Rare. Even currently, Geo will propose more cricket than football merger. I don't see ISL getting renewed. It has nothing to do with ISL getting renewed. Average Foodie, if Reliance stays as FSDL stays, then it will be put out there. And again, we have to be honest enough, and that was my conversations when I was there, and I spoke to the broadcasters about sports and all, and they say, listen, even a local tournament in cricket is getting more viewership than national level sports in other sports. So as long as that is there, they will push the content which is what the viewers want. The same thing happens on Netflix or on Disney Plus or whatever the platform is. They will push the content either which is new or which is going to get them eyeballs. If football gets them eyeballs, they will push football in a big, big way. So that is why I always say people need to watch more football. I will follow Indian football, but our youngsters in ISL should try going Europe. They're following on Insta. They should start bowling and is just seeing that. Yeah, but going to Europe sounds very, very easy. First of all, the Europeans have to be interested in the players. Secondly, the players, we've discussed this a lot on this channel. Let's see. On our you and everyone are saying Chetri should be requested back in national team, but has Sunil heard those voices? Has he addressed or talked regarding this? XYZ, he doesn't need to talk about it. Sunil knows that that is an option. And the only person who has to talk about him is Manolo Marquez. What I am saying, what others are saying, what fans are saying, doesn't matter. For Sunil, is if Manolo wants him back, that's the conversation that needs to happen, and Sunil can still turn it down. There is no compulsion for him to say, oh, you know what? Yes, you have to play. So, therefore, let him decide. You have quality, go third tier, work hard enough, you will get chances. But no, they want to be models. Only third tier, I don't even know if third tier is going to take them. Sunil will say, you request me to help you qualify for Asia Cup, and then I retire after we secure qualification. Then you will call me again to help perform Asia Cup. Don't you feel sorry for him? Why should I feel sorry for him? If you see that Ronaldo is still playing for Portugal, right? Why should I be sorry? If Sunil can help us, I would want Sunil to play for us. If I meet Sunil, I didn't meet him, but if I would meet Sunil, I would certainly say it on his face, say, bye, we need you. Indian football needs you. If he's going to do it or not, that's his decision. But, hey, Rishabh, welcome back. Your hots are certainly like a boon for ISL, as I would say, it is not going to be volleys. Volleyed around channels from here and there. Volleyed around. Yeah, okay, understood. This happened to be my 35th year following Indian football. Oh God, Uchud, you're that old. My single line answer, it's a structural problem. Has always been that way. And I couldn't agree more with you, brother. It is certainly the biggest problem of Indian football is its structure, because people are involved in the game, they run the game, they control the game, and they're not doing what needs to be done. And that is something, as long as that does not change, we're not going to get anywhere with Indian football. That starts with the AIFF, continues across the whole system, state association, clubs, this and that and everything. As long as that doesn't change, we're not getting anywhere. Rahim Ali scoring, Anthony scoring, Earth is healing, says Pranjal. Yeah, that's the word. Hi, Roshan. When is this Delhi court decision done to be expected? No idea. They've now asked, I think, the sports ministry and the AIFF to come in and give their views on it. As I've said, it's not in the past. It's not something that should be discussed by them. We have the Supreme Court decision supposedly about IOA and AIFF decisions on the 25th of March. And from what I've been told today by someone who was there at the court, that no one has actually told the court that the sports code violates the constitution of the Indian International Olympic Committee as well as of FIFA or actually any other global sporting body. So let's wait and see. It would, as I said, I think was a couple days ago or 3 days ago, my biggest fear is 25th afternoon, you have this Supreme Court hearing. They say, hey, this is now your constitution. And maybe FIFA a few hours, they say, oh, you know what, I think we should put you on a ban and then we don't play in Shillong. Worst case scenario, my really nightmare. Kalyan Chaube has been big failure as a president, apart from acting like a politician, answered questions in different manner. He failed big time, despite hope he would be better than Praful. Yeah. And he's not answered. Average footy, I think one thing has to be said. He's not even answered or acted like a politician. As much as you might not like Praful Patel or Priyan Das Munshi, they were top level politicians. And that influence, I've seen instances where these guys got things done which nobody in India could have done in that way, except if you're a top class politician with the perfect links and contacts. So therefore, Mohun Bagan Supergiant is untouchable this season, but Mohun Bagan fans still don't trust Molina. Yeah. I mean, I've said this now for over a month. Mohun Bagan has done and dusted. And when I was in Kolkata, a friend of mine said, how can you say that it's done and dusted? Well, I said, it's done and dusted. The others this season are just not good enough. Mohun Bagan has its own problems. Yeah. And therefore, to me, Molina has his ways of doing things. I think a lot of people don't like the way he sets up his team and makes them play and, substitutions and other things. But he's getting the results. And at the end of the day, I guess the results count. I mean, a lot of other teams would love to be in the position that Mohun Bagan Supergiant are at the moment. Ona, can we see a Red Bull investment coming in India anytime? Not think so. I don't think so. They've expanded. If you see, with Jurgen Klopp now coming in, they've got investment in Paris. They've got investment in Japan, additionally to the ones that they have in Leipzig in Germany, and Salzburg in Austria, in New York, and in Brazil. They had something in Ghana, which is they no longer have. Why? I mean, my question would be, why would a Red Bull invest in India? Why? Because for them, for example, investing in Brazil has been about creating a line of talent which you can push into the other teams. The same now applies for Japan, right? Also in France, Paris FC pushing them into Ligue 1, French talent pushing them up. What do we have in India? So that's the question. Another, I'll be happiest if Molina left, but I don't think he would leave. Interesting. And again, I've heard this from multiple Mohun Bagan fans, that they rather would have him leave. But again, the question is, who's the next one to come, right? Will you have the same problem? Mohun Bagan are top of the league. So from that perspective, it can't get better. I know the style could be better and would be more, comprehensive, but this is it. How do you see India as an event host? As a person who worked in various sports sectors, how do you see compared to Europe and other parts of the world? Murali, we can host events. How good, how bad is it's okay. It's okay. Certain things are good, but yeah. What should be change in AIFF management if Kalyan wrong? I'm not saying that, just asking what's wrong. Corruption. See, corruption to me is not even the biggest problem, because corruption is thrown around very easily. And there is certainly corruption. But has any of these allegations thrown out at XYZ people, has any one of them actually been proved right, and anyone has been, caught and anything has been done about it? Simple question. So to me, the most important thing is what the AIFF needs is a president has a certain understanding of football, get the right secretary in, and for me, most important is create a CEO position. Let the president be the face of the thing, create a CEO position, let the CEO run the show. That's what AIFF needs, in my opinion. Run it like a professional outfit, and also hard-hitting points. Work with Reliance, work with the clubs, academies, and everyone to build Indian football. At least good league in Asia, no, but you also know Europe is far beautiful than India too. So if I would have that quality, I would have gone. And why would someone look at from the other side? You're saying from an Indian footballer's perspective, I understand it. Now, the interesting part is that players come into India or even Indians playing abroad are coming to India because of the money in the ISL. That's your first problem. There's too much of money for 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old boys in the ISL. Going abroad means earning much less money, maybe not even earning money properly. It's just about surviving in that, wherever you go. Why would someone in Asia or in Europe sign an Indian player? Ask it the other way around, right? For how long will Sunil carry the national team and scoring on his shoulders? No one is showing up saying, I will take responsibility. Is anyone in Portugal asking that question about Ronaldo? And Portugal has talent, right? No one is able to push him out. So, Rushabh, I don't see that as a question. Sorry, XYZ, not Rushabh. Sorry, XYZ. I don't see that as a question. I see if Sunil is there, I want to keep him. Sir, why does Bajaj make it sound like FST and Reliance are the bad guys? To deflect from his own misdeeds and failures. Ask Ranjit who is at fault that India got suspended and banned by FIFA. Ask him that. I was the only person in the world. I paid my own money to come to Delhi twice to explain to people these are the things that are happening. The FIFA letter of suspension is already ready. We will get banned. And they still went ahead and said, all right, we are India, it will not happen. What am I going to tell these people? They think they know better and they know nothing. They know nothing and they're destroying Indian football for their own egoistic interest. Sorry. And that's the reality. It's a whole shebang of people who are doing that. I've been harming Indian football now for years and decades. We need a radical change if we want to take Indian football forward. But hey, who's going to be the leader to stand up and bring about that change? Where is that person? That is my concern. Or now has this postponement of hearing increasing the chance of India getting banned? Yeah, I would say yes. As time is, with FIFA at least, is running out. Who you want to be president? Oh, I've got a few candidates, but it's not something that I'll discuss publicly. AIFF Constitution Supreme Court cases, lifelong adjournment and hearing again and again. Dates will keep on coming. I don't think, Kumar. Final hearing supposedly on the 25th of March. Sunil probably wants us to move on. We were going to end up without him, and so we are. I think it's the best time heading into post-Sunil era. Sure, it's difficult, but not impossible qualifying, right? Rishabh, we need to move on. Yes, I agree. But if a Sunil is in the form that he has been this season, and we have the problem that we have in the Indian national team, then the job of the national team coach needs to be to find a solution to those problems. And we don't have a solution to that problem. So therefore, in my opinion, it is the job of Manolo Marquez to speak to Sunil and to figure out, first of all, is he interested? Would he like to come back? If Sunil says no, give him time. Go back a second time, speak to him. Even go back a third time, speak to him. Because we need his quality up front at this moment. Not only that, we need his leadership off the field and on the field. Because this team is still in that flux. And then whatever. Whenever I still hear here and there the name of Prabhu Patel and stories regarding Indian football, is he still engaged in some way with Indian football, or his hands totally out of this bucket? He's gone. He's not involved in Indian football per se, but Prabhu Patel is still the president of the Western India Football Association in Maharashtra. So he's the president of the Maharashtra Football Association. So there he's involved. But at national level, people are playing up his game. As far as I know, Mr. Patel is involved in none of these conversations that are happening. The expansion of ISL with more teams now hurting the quality, I feel. Here and there, I've been saying this for a while. It's one of our problems, right? That the quality has dropped, in my opinion, dramatically over the last 2 years. Last season, we didn't see it because last season was so exciting that we thought, hey, wow. But actually, it was exciting. Why? Because the quality wasn't right. So it is a brutal reality, in my opinion, but we're not talking about it. We don't want to talk about it. And that's what I've said. To me, 10 teams, make it a triple header, right? Home and away, and then mix it up for the final 9 games. That's the best. 27 matches. That's most probably better than a 13 team, 14 team, whatever we're going to do. Not working for my opinion. 51 minutes, nearly 52 minutes. If you haven't, do leave a like, leave a share behind. 12 likes so far. I think, guys, we can do better. And those of you who haven't, do leave a subscription behind. And as I say, do also watch the short videos that I make on regular basis. Hi, Jen Jolian. Can Chankti score 10 plus goals this season? If he scored 10 goals, he's the only Indian player who scored 10 plus goals consecutive 3 seasons in a row. Still possible, right? So Chankti can still do it. He's been scoring, of course, in the last couple of games. So, yeah, I would hope he does. Red Bull Kerala Blasters. Blues, don't see that happening anytime soon. Nobody cares about structural issues, but only focus on signing top player in ISL. Focus on top level. Rest of them, even if we get smashed at low level, don't care. Yeah, very well said. Shomo says, East Bengal fans did right thing today. They need to do more bigger protests in future. Agree, Shomo? But this is not a new phenomenon. If you look back in 2021, they tried. And those who were sort of the ringleaders of the protest, they were intimidated, and then the whole bunch of fans backed out. So therefore, I would hope that the protests yield something, because East Bengal club as an institution, in my humble opinion, deserves better than what it is at the moment. Simply said. Now, what's your take on Sumkova moving back to Slovenia or Slovakia? I did remember. Slovenia. He's gone back to Slovenia, has joined a first division club, and I've said this multiple times on these lives. That's why I say sometimes, guys, do watch the older episodes as well, because we have some very interesting discussions on things. In my opinion, it's the right decision. For Shom, I said that at the start of the season when he was making those mistakes. He's not ready for ISL football, for senior level Indian football, with all the things in and around the Blasters. Not the right club to come to play. I think for him to go back is the right move, and I hope he can improve further. I hope that he stays in Europe, that he gets better. So therefore, let him play in Slovenia, and leave him alone. Let him play football. Let's not, we get carried away by certain things. This boy surely is very, very talented. But him coming back last summer to India was, I said that at the time, and I still stick to it, was a wrong decision. Let him play there. But now they really think if AIFF are not getting caught, that means they don't do it. If they didn't do it, would India be in the situation where it finds itself right now? I mean, something are obvious. That's not what I've said. I said if you make allegations, and in today's world, again, it starts, allegations are thrown. Again, people say wrong things on a on a show on YouTube, and then the whole country goes up in arms. Um, if that is a problem, that the AIFF is badly run, a lot of country FAs are badly run, and still their football is successful. So for me, the question is, what do we need to do to be more successful in Indian football? Right? What do we need to sort out to be able to get things to a level where I'd say, can we get it better? Can we improve? So therefore, what the AIFF does is a problem. But the clubs around the world, the clubs, the academies, develop talent. The buck stops with them more than even with the AIFF. Do you think people are poor in identifying the mask of the people they call savior of football mask? They are another hidden mask. Yeah, Murali, nice analogy. Totally agree with it. Sachin says, I think Geo Cinema has forgot that football, they are not posting highlights from last 2 game week, but Indian domestic cricket match I can 10 to 15 minutes, but ISL match we wait 10 hours. Sachin, interesting fact. We need more people to watch football so that there is a pressure on broadcasters and OTT platforms to do stuff about football, right? I mean, they're not knowing CA violates the FIFA law of foreign interference, shows they haven't read any laws of FIFA. XYZ, no one's told. I think that's the biggest problem with the Supreme Court is that, my problem with these courts are that you're having a theoretical discussion about sports laws and legislations without having actually experts. No one is an expert on that matter. They don't seem to understand that there's a global framework of things in sports. No one has told them or informed them. That's the biggest problem. And yeah, I was surprised China cannot able to crack football and hockey. These are the area China missing Olympics. They have overtaken this year. Team sports is different. No? I mean, women's sports, they've cracked football and hockey, but men's, no. But why should I be surprised? Proful Patel clearly said he's got nothing to do with football when he was the president of AIFF, then why, like, is he holding on to these football positions? He's not holding on to these positions. Who said he's holding on? He's been asked to stay on, right? I think in the season, most high intensity pressure game tomorrow. It's going to be a big game. Let's be clear about it. Between Kerala Blasters and Mohun Bagan, is it high intensity? Not sure. Another, can you please talk about Nopang League? Will it be another league which does not produce better players with proper basics or may produce better players? Kumar, I don't know enough. I mean, I've said this now a few times. If I don't know enough, I've not seen it myself. I have seen most probably less videos than you have on these things. Therefore, I can't comment on it. I would, if I'm in a position to comment on it, I would do. But for that, I would need more inputs, insights to be able to say, you know what, it is of this quality, of that quality. I can't, and I am not an expert on that league. So therefore, sorry, and I think there's no one to do that. If ISL were to implement salary cap on Indian players, won't it reduce some costs for clubs, as wage bill is a massive expenditure for all clubs, right? Rishabh, you can work around it. I can give him a sponsorship contract. I can give players this contract. Look at how Anwar Ali's contracts have been figured out with Mohun Bagan, loan contracts. Anwar Ali's salary never appeared as part of Mohun Bagan's salary cap. So for me, it's a nice idea, but in Indian conditions, and it works, for example, in the US with all their sports, you have to show your books. You are sitting in a glass house in American sports where you have to prove and show your books. And we don't do that in Indian football, right? Or Indian sports, right? So therefore, our numbers are kept chupke, and that's a big difference. So therefore, I don't see that being something which can help us in regard to, I like the idea of a salary cap, but they will do second contracts, they will do outside sponsorships, other things where they are able to get players to sign, and then this whole the salary cap hasn't worked in the ISL. Let's be very, very honest. 3 seasons will be completed in the Nopon League for 4 districts: Champai, Kulsai, Lungle, and the last one. Yeah. How are referee in ASL 2? They're not able to handle an ISL match and proper decision making like a player. How FC give them ASL 2 matches? Sachin, they have to fulfill certain criteria. And the reality is refereeing is a global problem these days. So therefore, Indian referees get into the AFC, the Asian rosters, and therefore they're playing over there. They're officiating in those. And now, sir, can't we have fully dedicated stadium only for football without athletic running track? I think the stands and the pitch is too far. Generally, there are reasons for that. Let's say I go to Aizawl, right? For Mizoram, the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium was a big thing, and you see how they've expanded it over the years. But again, for athletics, they didn't have anything, right? So therefore, that stadium is used for that. Kolkata, Salt Lake Stadium, Nehru Stadium in Delhi is even a bigger stadium. I watched that game; you couldn't see anything, to some extent, right? But for pure football stadiums to be built, look at Shillong, for example, the Nehru Stadium, which has now been rebuilt, and that also has a running track around it. So therefore, let's see. If court automatically was in football, will it violate FIFA rules? You said no jurisdiction for them, but court is ultimate. Yeah, its involvement is actually a violation. So transparency is a problem, right? We need it to be started with the AIFF itself to disclose the accounts, and we can oversee the same at club level. Rishabh, until 3 years ago, the AIFF was disclosing their accounts, right? And you've never had a disclosure level of financial statements. I know for a fact that this was a topic with the AIFF, with the club accreditation process as well, that if you want to be accredited, you have to be transparent with your books, and that was not the case with the clubs. In the ISL also, that was discussed, I remember, in the first season, but then from I can say from season 1 we were handing in numbers, but season 2 nobody bothered, and in the first season, of course, everyone was spending whatever they were able to or could. From that perspective, we've moved on, but the problem remains, in my opinion, that we are in a situation where we are nowhere near where we would like to be, so therefore for me, so crazy. Do you think structure which made Japan football rise, not only sports but the country also? Yeah. Japan, Korea are structured in a certain way, and that helps them. But therefore, we can't copy. People who say we need to copy the model of a Japan or a Spain or a Germany or XYZ country, we need to have an Indian model. We need to have an Indian approach to growing the sport. Otherwise, it will not work. Tickets are sold out, ground back to normal, waiting for Indian El Clasico. Kerala Blasters vs Mohammed Supergiant. Yeah, Pradeep, should be an exciting and a cracker of a game. Sadly, I won't be able to watch it. I'm somewhere else tomorrow. I'm thinking tomorrow of doing a live, thought of doing Blasters versus Mohun Bagan, but won't be able to do it. So I'm thinking of doing the earlier game, Chennai versus Punjab. I know it's not of that much of an interest like the later game, but I'm out for the later game. So therefore, thinking of doing that. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, so therefore, just as an info, tomorrow thinking of doing a watch along of Chennai FC versus Punjab FC, which is a very important game for Punjab FC if they want to keep pushing for the top 6. Former referee Shankar, I feel Indian referees are doing an excellent job. Your quote on the side in 2017. Sorry, let me quickly. Yes, I remember. He said that. He told me. He's told me that also in the past. Sorry, I just have to. He said that. Shankar has said that multiple times in the past. And I also say, despite the mistakes that the referees have made in this season of the ISL, in this season of I-League or the lower leagues, the quality of refereeing is still becoming better. It is nowhere near where it, in my opinion, needs to be. That is one thing that we can talk and discuss. But refereeing has become in India better than what it was in the past. Period. That to me is a very, very clear point. But it needs to get much, much better. And that is something where we are struggling day in, day out. So therefore, in my opinion, that is something where we need to find solutions in Indian football for the referees to become better. And I again reiterate the point that I see a lot from a lot of people saying, you know what, we need to get VR involved. VR is the answer to all our queries and problems. And I clearly say to those people, it is not the solution to our problems, because VR looks like, sounds like it can solve our issues and problems. But at the end of the day, I feel that if we want to improve the referees, we need to work with them, especially in the off-season. AIFF, with the help of AFC, with the help of FIFA, needs to work on them. And then, if someone wants to invest on VR, then we can bring it in. But the cost, in my opinion, we're talking about 40 crores to bring in VR into the ISL, and then another, 15 crores most probably per annum to run the system. Those realities need to be kept in mind. So therefore, to me, those are things we need to remember. And if we want to talk about things, those are the things that we need to talk about. And that is something that nobody wants to address. And again, as I said a little earlier, asked the question about Indian referees being in ACL2. Yeah, Indian referees are actually, regarded as decent at Asian level. And therefore, look at the hate that Michael Oliver got the other day after the Everton Liverpool thing, right? Where, I think there are questions about that. VR questions here in Germany. Last Sunday again was the discussion: should we keep VR or should VR be removed? So therefore, these kind of discussions are happening in football, and we need to develop it. Have you heard Manolo Marcus's current statement? Yes, Murali, I've heard. And the one thing that I totally disagree with Manolo, with all respect that I have for him, is where he said, you know what, under 13, under 15, under 17, what he sees at FC Goa, he's seen that kind of level in Spain as well. I was in Malaga in December. The level of footballers in Malaga is much, much higher than it is here. So, and I'm talking about Malaga. I'm not even going to Real Madrid or to Barca. So that's the reality. I'm stunned by US sports development process and the college infrastructure in important sports. Unbelievable. Yeah. As an answer to Jen Joylian by Rushabh, stadium maintenance is difficult when it's owned by government, unless clubs themselves build stadiums themselves, and that would take like decades for us to see club-owned football stadiums. Yeah, the only club owned by an entity is the JRD Tata Sports Complex Stadium. But again, in Jamshedpur or in Tata Nagar, nearly everything is owned by them. But all the others, again, even BFC has been trying to build an own stadium, haven't been able. Rushabh, fan of Mumbai City, without the help of Aditya Thackeray, we wouldn't have the Mumbai Football Arena. So that is a reality. And again, for clubs to own the infrastructure, that is going to take time. That is going to take time. Sir, do you have any hope on Vision 2047? Genjolan, let me put it in a different way. 2047 is something I have hope for Indian football and its future, but this 2047 vision document that has been put out is to me unrealistic, right? So therefore, if we don't bring in the right people to run the federation, if we don't bring in the right people to organize and structure Indian football, none of these things will happen. And that is my big concern with Indian football. When we talk about Indian football, if we don't do the right things, nothing of it will happen, can happen, and will happen. And therefore, I'm saying, right? Therefore, it's a big problem, and therefore, it's a nice vision on paper, but it's nowhere near where it needs to be. What are the criteria FIFA suspend the country? How could they cancel it? See, there are different reasons for banning a country's association by FIFA, or let's say by the IOC. Third party interference is the most often one, where governments or where courts step over in regard to sporting legislations and get involved. Government try to remove people, that's also something. Corruption in regard to being proven against key officials of a federation. Allegations, other kind of allegations that's happened, right? So therefore those can be reasons. And to cancel it, they have to just rectify those things. That can be done in, Do you think government priority in other countries was India's huge difference? That's why a huge gap in sports between the other countries. Morally, yes and no, because I've said there are countries where the federations are even worse run than the AIFF, and they have been also had success. So therefore, it's not just a thing that you say, the AIFF is badly run, therefore, nothing is happening. To me, that is not something which I would buy into. I would say that we need to do more and need to be better, and that's not happening, and therefore we are where we are at the moment. And therefore, to me, the challenges are and remain to develop, the own Indian football ecosystem, and make it viable for us, for Indian sports to grow. And that is something where I say is the biggest challenge for Indian football, for Indian sports. And a lot of countries are successful in sports despite of their country's sporting associations, right? So yeah, one player in ISL you thought he would have stayed long. One of my favorites in 2014 when we started, Lalindika Ralte. Right, I would have thought, a regular in the Indian national team, technically very gifted player. Didn't do as much as I would have liked him to do, right, if you ask me on that front. 1 hour and 14 minutes. Those of you who haven't, do leave a like behind. If you haven't, share this video or other videos as well. Watch the older discussions. We've had some great discussions on this channel. 12 likes so far. Do that, because I think thanks to you, we have always have had an interesting level of how we talk about things and how we discuss things. 2,221 subscribers. Once again, thank you very much, everyone. Keep on watching. And as I said, I did something on Ed Sheeran visiting Northeast United today. So if you want, watch that video. I felt it was nice for someone like Ed to, while in Shillong, take time off to go and visit the grassroots program of Shillong, in Shillong of Northeast United. Yesterday did something on Mumbai City and what they need to do for the next year. Meghalaya Shillong to host India matches is something else that I've done. Top 6 race in the ISL is an interesting thing. Why Indian football is so inconsistent? Talk about East Bengal, FIFA suspension. There's so much. Wake up Indian football is another topic. Just watch if you want to. I've done so many stories in the last few weeks, even while I was on the road. So do watch them as well. And thank you, as always, for your support. Senegal is classic example. Despite system, they played in FIFA against all odds. Yeah, good example, Murali. Yeah. Which player as of now in I-League do you think can play well in ISL next season? Rishabh, for that, I am not watching ISL enough to be able to give you an honest answer on that. Yeah, so no. Pranjal Banerjee is most experienced referee now in regular refereeing in Asian tournament, but he's doing less matches in ISL than other referees. Sachin, they are, you know, have a certain level of scheduling, and if Pranjal is doing continental competitions, then he sort of falls out the roster for the next weekend. That's happened a few times. He's even refereed matches in the Calcutta Football League. So there's national commitments, international commitments, local commitments, and therefore I guess he's been less active in the ISL. Do you attend music concert? Yeah, Murali, I do. Haven't done for a while actually, but have done in the past. Now, sir, why Pakistan is always facing FIFA ban? Generally, because they've not amended their constitution. And there are people fighting over it, and they say we will change it, and they never do because they would lose power. So therefore, they're now third suspension in the last 10 years. So sad as it is. Therefore, yeah, Pakistan did a story on that. If you want to, General, and watch it. FIFA suspend Pakistan. Could India be next? A very interesting discussion with my very good friend Mohammed Shanawaz, 6 days ago. Watch it. I think it explains a lot of why Pakistan has been banned. Top 6 predictions. If you ask me, I think the current top 6 look like the most likely. Mohun Bagan is through. FC Goa to me is through. Then you've got Jamshedpur, Northeast United, BFC, and Mumbai City. That would be my top 6 predictions. Your thoughts on Indian hockey, how it becomes powerful and the legacy which they can carry. Murali, the work that Odisha has done, right? Given them infrastructure, worked on other things, and therefore, hockey has moved in the direction that I think a lot of sports should need to do, right? That has not happened, and therefore they've been so successful as they have been, right? So therefore, a lot of credit for the rise or the return of Indian hockey to the top level can be in Odisha. Do you think Indian football sources from the wrong place, the development process? Yeah, well, it could be said. Do you see Viviano managing an early club, or is he going to end up being an assistant coach? Rishabh, at the moment, Viviano at the moment has a contract with BFC for the second team. Not sure if he's going to go to an I-League club or be an assistant in the ISL. At the moment, he's trying to develop BFC talent, so let's see. Gibraltar country in Europe? Yes, it's not a country; it's a territory. It's a territory of the United Kingdom on the southern tip of Spain. And yes, I've even been there. Yeah, and I found some Indian footballers in that country. Great to know, but the Gibraltar level of football that they play, with all respect, complete amateurs, is even lower what we play here at FC Remscheid in the 6th year of German football. So nice to have, but it's not the level you want. You said court interference is third party, but court is ultimate. We should obey. Do you think rules of FIFA should change? No. Murali, why should FIFA rules change? See, the point is that there is one rule when it comes to sports, and that's that sports is independent of the influence of courts and of the governments or bureaucracy, whatever you want to call it. It's the same in the US. It's the same in India. It's the same in North Korea. It's the same in the UK with a monarchy in place, and that works around the world. If you want to have jurisdiction, you should have a separate, independent sports court or sports judiciary. That is what India needs. But we don't have it. So therefore, we're stuck with what we have, right? So therefore, that, how would you rate Bibiano? Rushabh, Bibiano's done well when he's been given a decent team. But in the last cycle, I would have said before he left, I think even he realized he's not going to be able to get anything out of that team. And therefore, I think that's one of the reasons why he's left. Any update on national team? Rushabh, nothing. Nothing that I've heard at the moment. And again, we are on the 14th of Feb. We're in the middle of the month. Give it until the end of the month, early March. I think Manolo will start making certain announcements. Will Germany have some Indian footballers? Yeah, Sachin, we have Indian footballers here in Germany at the lower level. There's no one at the top level. Let's be honest about it. But none where I would say I've seen players in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th tier of German football. None who's sort of say interesting for Indian football. So Indian football traumatized this much. Even these days, I'm losing my interest in it. Need something good within Indian football. Otherwise, the situation gonna get worse. Yeah. I can't add anything to that, Jeroen. The sad reality is, again, I would like to have a different conversation with you guys. Let's talk about the football. Let's talk about the positives. But where are the positives? And I don't want to be the, doomsday caller and say, oh, this is bad, that is bad. But it has to be called out. Right? And that's the, see how many people are watching. I realize, again, the channel is slowly growing. Thank you very, very much about that. But if I see, what's happening at the moment, it's very disappointing. How good, bad was Robin Dutt as coach? Rushabh, she's coached in the Bundesliga, was technical director of the German FA. She's a top-class coach. Top coach. So, should we play Argentinian when they come or should we not? Generally, let them come first. I'm not sure that they're coming. Right? That's the first question. If they come, why not? I would, again, other countries have played them as well in friendlies, so we're going to lose. Yeah, nice, but take the PR. I would play Argentina. India beating Argentina, Belgium hockey. Are you surprised? No, Morale, I'm not. Have met Mary Com and other boxer where took place in your football. No, I've not met Mary Com or any. I don't even know if I've met any boxers. I don't remember as such. Thought on Vikash Rao Doraso. Vikash, an old friend, haven't met in quite a while. Vikash is an interesting character to say the least. Lovely guy. Very thoughtful, very intellectual. Great footballer of his time. Played for Lyon, Olympique Lyon, or Olympique de Lyonnais, as they call it. Played for AC Milan. Played for Paris Saint-Germain. Class footballer. Great human being. Yeah. That to me is Vikash Doraso. So yeah, that's if you ask me, that's where he stands in my opinion. Right, nearly 1 hour and 25 minutes. We're in the 85th minute of this Friday evening or Friday night live here for you guys. It's night in India already, right? It's 11 at the moment. It's 6:41 p.m. here in Germany. You know, so yeah, looking forward to that. Curious question: how do you see difference in first world and third world? Because often use this word and it's referred to. There are huge differences, morally, but again, let's stick to football and not go out into this. And also, our Indian football future doesn't look so bright. Generally, at the moment, I think yes. Again, that's why I say we need hope. We need changes. We need things to move in the right direction. Sorry. That is my concern because it's not in a lot of things. But again, I always say one thing: we should not lose hope. We should hope that things will, at some stage, get themselves back, and we then move in the right direction. It's a challenge. It's a huge challenge, but yeah, and hoping it does go in the right direction. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult in regard to the future of Indian football because on that front, it is very, very complex. It is very, very complicated. So therefore, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. But the hope is what remains. Luigi Colina is stopped as referee with which it's an attitude. Sachin, he was a great referee. Yes, attitude is something, but also with his vision and the way he looked, he had respect. And that's what referees need. Can Hamza create panic to Indian football? Murali. Let's wait and see. I'm not sure, what the impact. I mean, in Bangladesh, it's already a huge thing. Hamza being called up for them and being part of the squad. So therefore, let's wait and see. To me, we need to focus on ourselves. We need to do Indian football as a national team has a lot of own problems. We don't need to look at Hamza Chaudhary. Let Bangladesh do the hype up, whatever we want to do. We need to focus on ourselves. Bas, khatam. Nothing more, nothing less. If Pia and Ose a player, is it bright and top 10 in Asia? Sachin, I've said this in the past, and I repeat myself. I think we would be better with players of Indian origin. Where we could, would, should, need to be is a different discussion. Can we be top 8, top 10, or top 8? Could be. But we would be certainly better than what we are at the moment. So that is the main point for me, that these players can make us better and how far they can take. If we're top 10, top 8, we're actually close to a FIFA World Cup, qualifying on merit. So therefore, for me, that is a very, very important step, a very, very important thing. If I want to take Indian football forward, yeah, I would surely say that. Right. 88 minutes. We're in the 89th minute of this Indian football discussion on this Friday night, on this Friday night. As I said, if you might be watching it afterwards, if you couldn't watch it live, leave a like behind, share it, and if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel. And watch the shorter videos, as I say. Do watch them. As I said, today something a little bit of starry things regarding Ed Sheeran, but also the Mumbai City squad overhaul, Meghalaya, Shillong hosting India matches, and all the other things, even older stuff, right? Do watch my visits to Mumbai City FC and the Mumbai Football Arena, my visit to the Nehru Stadium in Delhi for the Punjab FC match, or the day before, actually. Also watch those videos, other things. I'm always welcome to your support, and yeah, let's see. If we beat Tajikistan in ACL 2 pot by East Bengal series, the semi-final, the point margin which asks is 0.3, we get 2 ACL to sport. Sachin, Don't look at those things at the moment. If one team in the qualifiers, two teams, we need better teams to be able to compete at that level. Let's look at that, right? We are playing around a lot of these. We're pot two, pot three, pot one. It's not bringing us anything. Let the teams play, let them win, and then we'll see. Let East Bengal. East Bengal is in a state of has a lot of problems at the moment. Let's see what they can do, and that's after that. So that would be it. More than 90 minutes of this live. As I said, tomorrow I'll be back with an early watch along. Chennai FC versus Punjab FC, which especially for Punjab FC is a big game if they want to push for the top six. Again, I'm on the road later on, so therefore no live for Kerala Blasters. Kerala Blasters versus Mohun Bagan Supergiant. But as I said, like, share, and subscribe. And tomorrow morning, I think I'll be making a short video on a big news here in Germany today, which is Jamal Musiala has extended his contract with Bayern Munich up to 2030. Big news here in German football. Great news here in German football, I would say, for Bayern Munich. I'll do a video on that. And as I said, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with a live watch along early on, 5 p.m. Chennai FC versus Punjab FC. Good night, everyone.